The women in Bolivia, especially the indigenous women in the countryside, don't have safe places. I think it's true throughout history that men work to separate us. The system works to separate us. I'm not real sure why, but we don't have a place to be ourselves. And because there's a lot of distrust in this society, it bleeds over into the women as well. The husbands often, because they don't want their wives to become educated, forbid them to go to the church to participate in the women's programs at the church. And the other thing is, they don't voice their tragedies very often because there's simply not anyone to listen. This program helps women create a safe space where they can be themselves. The recommendations of no gossip, nothing negative, focus on the positive in yourself and in others. I've seen it work wonders this week, and it's something that can revolutionize the Methodist Church, the women's work here, and, I'm always hopeful for the society. I think it will take women teaching their children how to honor themselves and to feel good about themselves and good about one another before things can change. And I see girls doing that. This week, I haven't been around all the time when the Bolivian girls were together, but what I've witnessed is there's not been any pettiness, any jealousy, any gossiping that would hurt one another, no fights. 4 days. It could be a honeymoon period, but this is so in contrast to what happens in the real world. And it's a beautiful way of living, a beautiful way of being. And as a pastor, I think it's very much an embodiment of the gospel. And that women can make a difference because it's the women that teach the children. And if we can teach trust and honor, respect, focusing on the positive and not the negative, we can transform. We can transform the world. So I'm very proud that Girls is here and here to stay. To see the reactions between the two cultures, between the girls, and what your girls have taught our girls by example and through telling stories. The ability to think critically and to share your own thoughts and feelings, it often doesn't exist. Even the men will defer to the community or to their bosses to tell how they've done. And especially the women have never been in a position to where they've had to think, well, what do I like about myself? And to think that some women don't know they have thoughts, and that's hard to imagine, much less the thoughts that they have value and should be honored and shared and written, and then danced and sung, and that creativity that women have is of great value. It's unique. It doesn't come from any other source. So what I thought was happening would happen with girls actually has been more than what I thought would happen. And it's just a beginning, but I can see it growing. We just have to find ways to create safe space and focus on the good and the positive and the strengths.